Hello, I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams of Virginia. Today we have science. Science for Basic 6. So if you are in Basic 6, pay attention. If you are not in Basic 6 too, pay attention because today's lesson is very important and you need to be part of it. Okay, so what is our topic for today? We are looking at some uses of mixes in everyday life. The topic is some uses of mixes in everyday life. So today's lesson is about mixes. Some uses of what? Mixes. In our daily life, we use mixes to do so many things. There are a number of things that we are able to do because of mixture. If you are preparing food, you need to put two or more things together to get your stew, to get your soup. Even with fufu, you need cassava, you need plantain, you need yam or cocoa yam. You pound them, you mix them. You see, so mixture is very useful. We use mixture almost every day in the things that we do. So today's lesson is about uses of what mixture in our daily life, in our daily activities. Okay, so let's look at the keywords. The first word here is mixer. Mixer. So mixer means the physical combination of two or more substances. If you put two or more substances together, you form a mixture. Okay. And then we have suspension. Suspension. So suspension too, we are talking about a mixture. But in this mixture, we have liquid and solid. The solid particles are not able to dissolve in the liquid. So you see the solid particles in the liquid. Sometimes you see them on top of the liquid. Sometimes they remain in the liquid. So suspension is a type of mixture where the solid particles are suspended in the liquid, or you see them on top of the liquid. Okay, the next word is solution. This is another type of mixture, but in this case, or with this solution, the solid particles and the liquid particles, they mix completely. The solid is able to dissolve. The liquid dissolves the solid, so you don't see the solid again. You don't see the solid again. For example, you have salt and water. If you put salt in water, after some time you will not see the salt again, but the water will be salty. It means that the water has dissolved the salt, and we call that solution. We call that mixture as what? Solution. Okay, the next word is evaporation. Evaporation is where liquid turns into vapor as a result of heat. So you put water on fire, after some time you see vapor coming out of the water. That is evaporation. Then we have miscible. So when you use this word, we are talking about mixture that contains two liquids. So liquid mixture. Some of the liquids, you can mix them and they will form one layer. Some of them too, when you mix them, they cannot be mixed. You see one on top of the other separately. So the ones that are able to mix completely, they are called miscible. The ones that are not able to mix to form one layer, they are immiscible. So miscible, we are talking about liquid mixture, where the two liquids can mix completely to form one layer. For example, you have water and Fanta. So if you put them together, you see that they all form one color, one layer. But if you have water and red oil, You see the red oil on top and the water too at the bottom. The red oil and the water, they cannot mix completely, so they are immiscible. But with Fanta and water, they will mix. You will not see the Fanta on top of the water, or you will not see the water on top of the Fanta. They will mix completely to form one layer. So that is what we call what? Miscible. Now let's look at it. In Basic 5, we learned about mixtures. We said that a mixture is a combination of two or more substances. We also learned about types of mixtures such as solid mixture, liquid mixture, and solid-liquid mixture. We also learned that substances or materials that form a mixture are called components or constituents. So we learned in our previous lesson that we have types of mixtures. We have solid, liquid, then we have liquid. We said that the parts that come together to form a mixture, the parts are called constituents or component. So every mixture has constituents. Every mixture has constituents. Now, to separate mixture, there are some things that we need to do. There are some methods that we need to use. So these are the methods that we use to separate mixture. Let's say you have mixed two things. You have formed a mixture, but you want to separate the components. These are some of the things that we use to separate them. So methods of separation. We have distillation, decantation, filtration, evaporation, magnetism. They are more than these. So this is how distillation looks like. This is how distillation looks like. So you have your mixture here. You apply heat to it. It will start what? Evaporating. So the vapor will rise. Because this side is blocked, it will pass here. The vapor will pass here. You see here, the tube is covered with something. That thing is very cold, so it will change the vapor into liquid, and then the gas here, when it gets here, it will turn to liquid, and then we have it here. So this is how distillation. You look at it. I'm just showing you the types or the methods that we use to separate mixture. Another one is evaporation, where we apply heat to a solution, and you see that the water component will evaporate, leaving the other components inside. Here too, we have what we call filtration. We use a filter paper to separate solid particles from liquid. The solid particles are mostly or are insoluble. The parts that are not able to dissolve in the liquid or water, we use filter paper to separate it. So this is how it looks like. And we have magnetism. It's about magnets, the use of magnets to separate magnetic substances from non-magnetic substances. So let's say you have sand, or you have papers and pins. You have pieces of paper and you have pins. They are all in the same place. They are mixed. For you to get your pins, you use what? Magnets. The magnet will attract all of them. It will leave the papers there for you. So these are some of the methods that are used to separate what? Mixes. Okay. So activity 1 is there. Activity 1 is there. So let's move on to types of what? Mixes. We are looking at types of mixes. So the mixes that we are talking about, we have different types. Now, the first one here is solid mixture, solid gas mixture, solid liquid mixture, liquid mixture, liquid gas mixture, gas mixture. So you have how many types here? 6 types. Now let's look at them one after the other. Solid mixture. So it's a mixture of 2 substances, and these 2 substances are all solid. So it is a combination of 2 or more solid substances. Examples are sand and cement, gari and sugar, and what? Milo and what? Gari. So we have this. This is sand and cement. So you have your cement and sand, you mix them. Cement is solid, sand too is solid. So if you mix them, you form a mixture, and we call it solid mixture. Let's come to this side. This is Milo and what? Gari. So you have your Gari, you mix it with what? Milo. Gari is solid, Milo too is solid. So the mixture of these two ingredients is what? Solid mixture. Now the next one is solid liquid mixture. It is a combination of solid and liquid substances. Examples are sand and water, chalk powder and water, salt and water, and then sugar and water. So this is what you should know. This is salt solution. So this salt solution here, the salt will dissolve in the water. We have powdered chalk and water. The powdered chalk will not be able to dissolve in the water, so you see them suspended. So this is suspension. Okay. Now let's read what we have here. In a solid liquid mixture, when the solid completely dissolves in the liquid, the resulting mixture is called solution. So I explained to you what a solution is. At the beginning of the lesson, I said that solution is a form of mixture or a type of mixture where the solid components are able to dissolve completely in the liquid. Okay, so suspension too, we have seen solution. Let's look at suspension. Suspension is a mixture in which the solid particles do not dissolve in the liquid, but float or remain suspended in the mixture. So you see that with suspension, the solid particles are not able to dissolve. But with solution, the solid particles are completely, or they are able to dissolve completely. So you should just understand the two: suspension, solution. Suspension, the solid particles, they remain suspended, they float in the liquid. But with solution, the solid particles dissolve completely. Okay, let's move on. The next one is solid gas mixture. It's a combination of solid and gas substances. Solid and gas substances. An example is what? Dust and air. Dust and what? Air. Okay, so we know dust. Dust is what? Solid. Air is gas. So solid gas mixture, we are talking about air and what? Dust. Or any gas substance and any what? Solid what? Substance. But in the case of dust and air, it forms what we call solid gas mixture. You know, gas, air is gas, and then dust too is solid. So that mixture is called what? Solid gas mixture. The next one that we are looking at is liquid mixture. Liquid mixture. So we are talking about two liquids. We are talking about two or more liquids that have been put together. Now, it is a combination of two or more liquids or two or more liquid substances. So when you combine two or more liquid substances, that is called what? Liquid mixture. So in liquid mixture, we have miscible and immiscible mixtures. So yes, I explained to you what miscible mixture is and what immiscible mixture is. So miscible mixture refers to a mixture where the two liquids or component can be mixed completely to form one layer. So when the two liquid components are able to mix to form one layer, we call it what? Miscible mixture. And then immiscible too is here. Immiscible, that is when they are not able, the two liquid components are not able to mix to form one layer. So you see one separated from the other. One will be on top of the other in the case of immiscible. Okay, so let's look at this miscible mixture. We have vinegar water, they form miscible mixture. We have water and Fanta, they also form miscible mixture. Okay, so they are all miscible. The immiscible ones are also here, water and petrol. You see the petrol on top of water, water and palm oil, you see it on top of it. So these are things that you should know under liquid-liquid mixture. Let's move on to the next one, liquid gas mixture. So we have this mixture. We have parts, or one component is liquid and another component is gas. So it is a combination of liquid and gas substances. For example, we have Fanta. If you shake Fanta and you open it, you see gas coming out from the liquid. So it means that the liquid in the can, in the bottle, has gas too. So it is a combination of gas and liquid in the bottle. That is why we see the gas coming out. So liquid gas mixture, examples are Fanta, Coca-Cola, we have Sprite, and other fizzy drinks or other carbonated drinks. Okay, now the next one is gas mixture. So this mixture contains two or more gases, and example is air. You know, I explained to you what an air is. Basic 2, Basic 3, Basic 4, Basic 5, we have learned about air, and I explained to you that air is a mixture of gases. Air is a mixture of gases. So the air that we breathe in, we breathe out. The air that dries our thing, the air that blows around, they are made of different gases. We have oxygen, we have nitrogen, we have carbon dioxide, we have argon. All these are components of the air. They are what? A mixture of substances, or mixture of what? Gases. So gas mixture. Air is an example. Okay, so we have seen the types of what? Mixtures. 6 of them and the examples. Remember to give correct examples for each of the types. Now let's look at uses of mixture. Now what are the uses of mixture? Uses of mixture. 1. Foods are prepared by mixing different ingredients. So the food that we eat, our mothers prepare for us, our fathers prepare for us, our sisters, our brothers prepare for us. And the food that we are able to prepare by ourselves, we mix different ingredients. If you are preparing stew, you need water, you need oil, you need pepper, tomatoes, you need salt, you need other things. You even add fish, you add meat, you add certain things to it. So it's not just one. So whenever we are preparing food, we mix different ingredients. So mixture is very important. It helps us to prepare our food. 2. Medicines are prepared by mixing different substances. So the medicines that we take in when we are sick, they use different substances. Okay. 3. Drinks are made by mixing different substances. So when you open Fanta, you see gas coming out. You see the liquid in it. Even the liquid is of different things. Sometimes they add sugar, they add color, they add water, they add flavor, they also add certain things to it. So you see, mixture is so important. It helps in preparation of what? Drinks. The next one is that mortar and blocks are used for construction, and they are made by mixing different substances. So if you want to build a house, you go and buy blocks. The blocks too, they use cement, they use sand, they use water. They mix them. So you see, mixture is very important. The next one is that some colors of paints are obtained by mixing different paints. So you have primary colors, you have secondary colors, you have other colors. For you to get other colors, you need to what? Mix. We mix primary colors to get secondary colors. So mixture is very important. To get some colors, you need to what? Mix other colors. Okay. The next one, dresses are made by mixing different fabrics and materials. Yes, do you know that I know how to sew? Yes. I'm a professional fashion designer. So if you see me wearing an African wear, don't worry. I buy my fabrics, I cut them, I buy different fabrics, then I make sure I fix them, I mix them in a way that will look nice. So when we are sewing, we mix different fabrics to get our dresses well designed and so on. Okay, the next one, which happens to be the last one here, the air we breathe is a mixture of different gases. So the air that we breathe is a mixture of different gases. So you see, gases are mixture is very important. Okay, now we have think, pair, share. In groups of 4, let learners identify at least 5 different mixes, their components, their uses, and where they are used. Okay, share your findings with the class. So today we have learned about mixes. We said that a mixture is a combination of 2 or more substances. We have seen different types of mixtures: solid mixture, liquid mixture, gas mixture, solid gas mixture, and the rest. We have seen examples of them. We have seen uses of mixtures. We've seen that mixture is so vital. All the things that we are able to do, the air that we breathe, is a mixture of gases. The soup, the stew, the food, the fufu, the broths, and other things that we use every day is because of mixture. That is why we are able to get all these things. So today we have learned about mixtures. We have seen their uses. Remember that we mentioned how to separate mixtures, but we didn't go into details. That is for another topic, another day. Don't worry, we will look at it later on. And we also mentioned that some liquids cannot be mixed completely to form one layer, and some liquids can be mixed completely to form one layer, whilst others cannot be mixed. Others or other liquids can be mixed. So those that can be mixed to form one layer, they are called miscible, and those liquids that cannot be mixed to form one layer, they are called immiscible. So that is what we have learned today. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Let's look at exercises. So we have exercise 1. We have exercise 2 here. Exercise 3. You have your exercise 4. And then you have your home assignment 1. You have your home assignment 2. So this is what I expect you to do for me. You know, Kokomoti, we make sure we give you more exercises so that you also know how well you have covered the topic, how well you have understood the topic. So that is what we have learned today. My name is Paul Williams. But before I go, tell people, tell your friends that they should go to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Our videos are there. Search for Kokomoti series. We teach you what you are learning in the classroom. Our videos, our lessons are for educational purpose. So make sure you always go to our platforms to watch, to learn, to acquire knowledge, and share it with other people. Apart from science, yes, we have science textbook. And apart from science, we have Asante tree, we have Equiapim tree. Make sure you get copies. My name is Paul Williams. Bye-bye.